Right, hi there. I thought I'd talk about, have a little bit of a blog. I'm sitting on the floor, if you're wondering why there's a chair behind me like this. Because I thought we'd talk about life. And I'm interested, as this is going on Tube Addicts and it has a bigger audience, there's a lot more subscribers, more people watching. So that's why I thought a blog would be appropriate, because it enables a bit of interaction. Interaction? Yeah, even that word. Between subscribers and Tube Addicts. And I was wondering what people's opinion is on what they think life is, well, anything generally about life. Please leave your comments down below. Even better, make a video response. They're always good. So you can get your point across. Because I know this is a subject, it's one of those subjects where a lot of people have various opinions on it, usually varying from one scale to the other. Not only what people's opinions of life is, what do people think is the most important thing in life to them. My bone of contention that I've often mentioned a lot of times on here and in my stories, poems, dramatic verse, whatever you want to call them, is the idea or philosophy that we choose the life we live, in the sense that if you believe in religion, if you believe in God, then God in various religious texts has given freedom to mankind, given him free will to be able to sin or to do good, and then to be judged upon that. Obviously, if there wasn't free will, then it wouldn't be fair. Obviously, God has a certain amount of saying some of this and plotting some of how our lives are, but to a certain degree we are free. If you don't believe in God, then of course we have complete freedom in the sense that we decide what we do, and so therefore either way we choose how we live. And yet if we look how we live on this planet, you know, we have people who are starving, and they've been starving for hundreds of years, and they're still starving today in what is a technologically advanced, civilized world, and a smaller world, but we have communication with everyone and everything. And this planet has enough food, I think scientists say, for like 60 billion people. There's only 6 billion, so you know, actual amounts there is plenty, but obviously the countries are divided, people are divided, and we choose, or we have inherited a life that we're living in, and yet we should have, well, we do in a certain, well, by rights we have the choice of how we live, but because we have a hierarchy of power where we have different ranks, obviously those who have the power actually have the choice, whereas those who don't really, unless they go to get that power by becoming politicians, etc. So really it's up to those with the power to make the change. Obviously, to make the change into living in a life where we all work for each other, we work for the planet, we work for mankind, rather than we work for money and trinkets, which is what we do at the moment. We make hundreds of brands of fairy liquid and hundreds of brands of shampoo and, you know, excessive amounts of things just for competition. Just, you know, is it really necessary? I mean, if you were working out an ideal society, if you have a way of making, although, you know, I know that by having all this competition means that you get better things and people start advancing because someone wants to make something better, but in the sense that, do you need like 500 different brands of television? Why can we not just come up with what's the best one and that's it, and pull on all these resources and these people? And, you know, same with pharmaceuticals, same with all the areas that mankind's involved with. A lot of it is to do with money and competition and product, as opposed to serving mankind. And I know that's a utopian or communist, whatever you want to call it, ideology, but that is my bone of contention with life at the moment, that it rules us rather than we rule it. So I don't know what your opinions are that. Obviously I know there's going to be various amounts of opinions on that kind of subject, but it'd be interesting to know what you think the most important thing in life is. Obviously to me, the most important thing to me is love, and love obviously has many different meanings, many different types of love. There's obviously what I would consider the most important personally to me is the love of your partner, obviously the love of God, then there's love of family, love of friends, love in the way that you treat people. It's a way rather than an actual one particular type of thing. So that would be what my most important thing in life is. What is yours? And how do you is it possible to for life to get better? Can we actually really make those changes? I mean, obviously we have advanced a long way, especially in the last 100 years. When you talk about integration, when you talk about race and all those things, we have advanced and we have got better. And so there is hope that we will eventually come to a stage where we are more united and more thinking clearer of what our goal should be. Getting money out of the aspect is the problem, and it's a big problem because it's also because it's all segregated different powers. How do you get everyone to agree? If you get 10 people in the room, it's very difficult to get them to agree. Imagine 10 different world leaders. Who's going to give up their throne? They've got the most to lose and the most to gain by keeping it the way it is, and that's why the status quo is kept. And then, of course, what is people's opinion on life, as in the sense that do they believe in God? What do they think happens? Is life just a one-ticket ride? That's a nice phrase, isn't it? In the sense that you're born, you live, you die, or do you believe that, like I do, that your life here is a chance for you to, this is Muslim for you obviously, to incubate your soul and for it to either get light or darkness depending on what you do into the hereafter when you die and you're judged, and that soul that you've almost like the human body is a womb for that soul that's growing by like a mother. When she's having a child, the baby's growing inside, and all the nutrients that it gets is how that child is developed. The same sense that in my body now is my soul, and all the things I do, good or bad, are giving the nutrients to that soul, so that it's either going to be a good or a bad soul, and obviously that's where the destination I will go to. Do people believe in that life is not just this place, and that we do have another life after this? I think that's enough to talk about. So I've given you some of my blog opinions of what I think about life in its different forms and contexts, and it'd be interesting to know what you also think. Please leave your comments, audio, video, or written. Video would be really good, but comments as text would be fine as well. So it'd be interesting to know. Please try and keep them without being derogatory, if it's possible. Obviously there's freedom of speech, but let's keep it sensible and try and explain your, if you want to put a radical, or what people might consider radical, then at least try and explain it so that it can be understood, rather than just writing something that's explicit. Anyway, that's all for me. Thank you for listening. I hope this has been interesting, and it will give you a chance to give your input as well. Other than that, take care, take it easy, and peace.